José López Sierra, here for Compañeros Unidos para Decolonización de Puerto Rico e Información a Desnudo. And we're here at Barrio Obrero. This is Plaza Barceló. And there's a protest or a manifestation for Black Lives Matters, and I understand they have also included some other things. But this is Tuesday, the 23rd of June, 2020, and we're here with Korymanx. And I found him on YouTube, and he had a video, and what caught my attention is that he said that he was for Puerto Rico independence, flat out, clear, and that he was looking for different events and where he can go and document the struggle for independence here in Puerto Rico. So I invited him, I sent him an email, I invited him to this particular one today. And I decided that I'd like to hear his story about how did he end up here in Puerto Rico and being an advocate for the independence of Puerto Rico. Good afternoon.
Hey, well, I appreciate you giving me the email and the invitation to be here. This is my first kind of real event to go to here in Puerto Rico, and so I'm kind of wanting to see what everybody's here for and see their side of the story and what they have to say. A lot of the times the media will misinterpret why people are really here, and it's important for individual journalists to show up and document these things. So that's one of the reasons why I'm here. But the reason why I moved to Puerto Rico is because I vacationed here several times, and I fell in love with the culture of the island, the people of the island, the vibe that is here, the weather. It's easy to be self-reliant. There's a lot of vegetation, food, a lot of self-reliance in the ocean with catching your own food out there, fish and stuff like that. So I'm a very simple kind of guy, and I want to keep it local and support the local people and get away from the big corporations. And I just find it people that live here live more freely. And I respect that, and I wanted to come here and kind of indulge into that. And one thing that I really saw here in Puerto Rico was the power of the people when unified, what they could do. Obviously you guys know that a few years ago, you guys removed the governor here in Puerto Rico without any kind of violence and with no vote, and that's very powerful. And I was drawn to that. I think with a united front of people, we can seek and find independence here in Puerto Rico, but we have to get away from listening to what the TV and the government's telling us, because they're going to divide us up on purpose and turn us against each other, because when we're not unified, we're very weak, and that's where they want us. They want us divided and pointing the fingers at each other. So.
Well, you have hit that exactly on the head.
Yeah.
You have to understand that we were a colony for about 400 years of Spain, and we had acquired, I don't know whether you know this, but we had acquired self-determination from Spain. Not because Spain was nice, but they knew that they only had two colonies left in their vast empire in America. And they knew that the United States was interested in Puerto Rico, and also the Cubans were fighting for their independence.
Sure.
So they knew they were going to lose Cuba, so they said, we would like to hold on to Puerto Rico. So they gave us self-government through the autonomic charter, where we were basically a province of Spain. Now, the United States knew that, but they wanted a colony. The manifest destiny that continued going westwardly, and they say, hey, we got to get some free labor here. So we've been a colony for 121 years thus far, and you hit it right on the head. Here in Puerto Rico, we are not really taught real history. It's all American history, and they tell us that we're a little small and we don't have the kind of oil and resources that Venezuela has. So, this is the best you can do. But we can see now that Venezuela has a lot of oil, a a lot of other riches, and they want to make Venezuela their colony too, or his colony. So it's not about that. It's about exploitation. And you're going to find out if you're here long enough that that's our problem. People are divided because we listen to CNN and we'll listen to Fox News, and we get all this other stuff that, along with the colonial mind that's been going on since 1898, and then we have that, and a lot of people don't question. And this is why I like what you're doing, and this is why I got involved, not only speaking at the UN and doing a march from Hunter College, where I graduated from New York City, to the UN on that particular day, which was actually yesterday, should have been, but they called it off, postponed it because of the coronavirus and the epicenter in New York City. But that's really where I think the struggle is, and trying to not only decolonizing people's minds, but you have to decolonize also the universities, the structure of knowledge, because I found out recently through this professor at the University of California that really what is taught in all of the universities is really knowledge from about 5 Western European nations. So, and once I became aware of that, I said, this is very powerful, because even if a nation becomes independent, if you don't really question all that knowledge that we've been taught in school, we're going to continue to replicate that adulterated knowledge. Absolutely. So anyway, I said all that just to give you like a real quick summing up of where we're at.
Absolutely, I really appreciate that. I learn something new every single day, and it's pretty amazing what the island has been through and the people here. And it's kind of interesting to see why, I don't know why we haven't found independence yet after everything that hasn't happened. But we get divided easily and misguided, and man, that's the main issue. So this goes back to that. And, I think leading by example, educating people, and treating people with love and respect, I think that's our best bet, and to try to change hearts and minds and get people to understand what pure freedom is and where we should be.
Okay, and so anything else you want to say? You want to say like where was home before you came here, or if you want to just sum up and?
So yeah, I came from Texas. I lived there for 36 years, and I just wanted to kind of get out of that state and live more freely. Don't be fooled. The United States is not the land of the free and the home of the brave. That is an illusion, and I didn't run from there or anything like that. I came here to seek more happiness and more freedom, and I felt like this was what was calling me. So that's why I'm here. And, I was born and raised in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but I recently moved from Houston. I was there for about 3 or 4 years. So, so I just want to establish myself here, learn more about the people and the culture, and see where I can be of help, if any.
So welcome aboard, and anything else you might want to say before we end the interview?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and enjoy the activity.
Thank you.